Okay, we are going to continue our classes. Ready? Go.
However, Genesis. Should we start with however? Yeah. Freedom without free will equals slavery. However, Genesis 2 verse 17 lets us know the consequence of our choice, which is death. Commandments, therefore, are meant to save or prevent us from death.
No. Genesis 2:17 lets us know that the consequences of the wrong choice is death. Commandments, therefore, are meant to save or prevent death. So, commandments save us from death. When you obey commandment, you choose life. When you violate order, so order, law and order. Law, commandment is law. Law leads to order. Law is an instrument of order. Commandment is an instrument of order. So law is to bring order to your life. When there is no order, disorderliness brings about death. Disorderliness brings about death. Okay? We talk about, wait a minute. Let's start from here. Freedom.
Freedom without boundary or limitation leaves a man without any choice.
Okay. With freedom without boundary or any limitation leaves. Why am I talking about that? That's because of Genesis 2:17. Let's start from here.
Hence, the first commandment to man is Genesis 2:17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Freedom without boundary or limitation leaves a man without any choice.
That is why there was a need for commandment in the Garden of Eden. Because if it's just perpetual freedom, then there is no choice. Then man becomes a mechanic, a robot. He cannot choose. He cannot exercise will. So that commandment, not to touch this tree, install in man the power of choice. Without that, there will be no willpower, and there will be no power of choice. So that commandment is necessary for man to be man, because man cannot be man without willpower. So, but you have the freedom to choose, good or bad. But when you choose to live in disorder, it leads to death. Okay?
Right. Freedom without commandments leaves a man without free will.
Okay, we are going to show you, I want us to show this video. Yeah, the third one here. The video, the third video. Louder. Oh! Start all over. Start all over. Samoa Nashala. This is what lack of order could lead to. That is a typical example of lack of order in the road only. These are the things that lack of order do. When people choose, they have the power of choice. When they choose to disobey order, to violate order, instead of obey order, this is what you get. Let's move. This is what you get when people choose disorder. This is what you get. So when you see, that's why God put the power of choice to man and gave man willpower. So you have the right to choose life or death. It is a matter of choice. But can you now imagine a situation where there are no laws, where there are no orders, where there are no regulations? So some people will ask the question, why is it that God put the law in the Garden of Eden? Why is it that God put the commandment that don't touch? Because of this kind of thing. Can you imagine there is no law at all? This kind of thing will be there regularly every day. And can you imagine there are no law enforcement organizations? Life without order leads to death. Life without order leads to destruction. Life without order leads to pain. I think we had enough. Or you want to continue worship? I think we had enough. Let's go back to the notes. So the topic of today is the pains of lack of law and order. See the pains. Even you here are feeling the pains. That is when people decide to go against order. That's the kind of consequences that we reap. When people decide to go against rules and regulations, when people choose disorder over order, the pain is greater than the pain of order. The pain of disorder is greater than the pain of order. Let's start reading from here, please.
Lack of law and order leads to loss of freedom. Genesis 2:16-17. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. What God gave man initially was freedom.
So that was freedom. What we saw in that Genesis chapter 2 was freedom. Because what it said is that you have the freedom to choose, the freedom of choice. It was the power of free will. That's what God gave to man in that place. But if there had not been that kind of limitation and that kind of border, that don't touch that one, then it will be anarchy. Because freedom without rules is anarchy. Let's start with hippies, the hippies. Freedom without limit. The hippies, who knows the story of the hippies in the 60s? There are people who like so much freedom. They didn't want any law. They wanted anarchy. Let's play this. Voice, volume, sound. It says mute here, mute here. No, it's here. It's okay. It's on mute now. Now you can play. No. Okay, don't worry. So you see what kind of, in the 50s, this is the hippie. This is the kind of thing that was happening. So it was a kind of, it was a time of chaos. People who are older know what it was. Sex revolution, it was just a kind of chaos. Why is it that the hippie movement stopped? Why is it that the hippie movement didn't get to us? Because anytime you want to advocate for freedom, only freedom, it leads to death. He's dead. Disorder doesn't bring about sanity. Disorder doesn't bring about order. Disorder doesn't bring about growth, progress. It died off. And the people, hippie people themselves, don't wish their children to become like them, like they were. Why? There is nothing like only freedom. Freedom must always have borders, must always be limited. Then it makes common sense. Okay, let's go back. Now let's check Amsterdam light. Yeah. So this is Amsterdam. There is a street there they call Red Light. This where women are going there to sell themselves, prostitute themselves, and offer themselves like products, like objects. So they display them like you display clothes or mannequins. So you see living human being standing there as if it is the mannequins that is standing. And what they are soliciting for is that buy me, I'm available for sale. And see how many people passing by there. Those are human beings over there. In those windows you see, those are human beings standing there. Those are human beings, living human beings. They are turning left and right. Yeah, those are human beings inside those windows. They are living, not their pictures. And it didn't resolve the problem. It didn't solve the problem of prostitution. It never solved it because disorderliness, it doesn't, even though they try to put order into sin, but it's still disorderliness morally. Okay, let's go back to our note. Okay, here we are.
Order without liberty and liberty without order are equally destructive.
Yeah. So that's why if God had given just freedom without any border, it is also destructive. It would have been destruction. So to any amount of freedom, there must be some borders, limits. And then to any amount of limits and laws, there must be freedom as well. Otherwise, it will be destructive too.
Freedom is the first human right God gave man.
Freedom is the first thing God gave to man in the Garden of Eden. The first human right, sorry. No, don't press.
Hence, the first commandment to man in Genesis 2:17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Freedom without boundary or limitation leaves a man without any choice.
So that's what we have in Nigeria right now. No laws, just freedom. Everybody just do anything they want. And it has left the country without any choice but poverty and destruction.
Without commandment leaves a man without free will.
Yep. Let's look at Singapore. What is the difference between Singapore and Nigeria when it comes to society? Regimented society. Society of law and order. Playing a musical instrument in a manner that annoys the public will attract the penalty of $1,000. This is Singapore for you. If you do that in Singapore, you are in trouble.
What's happening here?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
Someone else connecting to someone else's Wi-Fi without permission attracts $10,000 fine. $10,000 fine. Hugging in public without asking for permission. Listo. Yeah. Singing. What? Okay. Using foul words. Yeah. You go to jail for 3 months if you say "fuck you" or something like that.
Buster!
Foul words. 3 months.
You old horny slut!
If you smoke an e-cigarette, despite being it is safer than the normal cigarette. So if you smoke cigarette, you're going to jail for 6 months. Or pay tithe of $10,000. Let's start again. Let's watch that thing again. That is order. But that is even not if you spit or if you chew gum or do things. Okay, can we start all over again from beginning? Will you can I read it? Okay. Instrument. If you play instrument that annoys people, $1,000 without permission. Without permission. Yeah.
What's happening here?
If your noise, that is like in Nigeria. You play your music, speaker, boo 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 boo. What? Church speakers, yeah. $1,000. In Nigeria, you will fill the budget immediately in 1 year. You will get another GDP immediately. Because in Nigeria, everybody is just doing any kind of thing. Because you are anything that you do like that is not considering the interest of another person, that is irritating to another person, $1,000. Fine. One time. 2 minutes. Next one.
No heaven.
It is irritating.
It's easy.
By
if you
irritating
try.
somebody else in the public like that, you are gone to jail. Number 2, you get connected to somebody else's Wi-Fi. All my neighbors here, they are in trouble. Without permission, that's $10,000 fine. $10,000, you go to jail for 3 years. So what about then stealing? So if that is just Wi-Fi, go to jail for 3 years, $10,000 fine. What about then stealing? What will stealing be? What will robbing be? What will 419 be? What will MMM be like? What will fraud be like? I have a friend right now. His name is Kong Hee. He pastored the biggest church in Singapore. He's now in jail for 6 years. Because he gathered offering in his church and used the offering for evangelism instead of for construction. Because he had gathered the money for construction, but he went and used it for evangelism. He's serving 6 years in jail right now. All Nigerian pastors will be in jail. Mayo, that's another program for you. Go and find Kongi. I will give you the name Kongi in jail. You see the video. Because he used the money for another purpose than people gave it. We are accountability. We are not talking about he didn't give account. He gave account. He submitted the account. He used it not for himself, We are not talking, yes, we are not talking about buying private jet or buying car. If you hug somebody like this without permission, you are going to jail. Number 4. You sing song. What was number 4? Okay, sorry. We got it. I got it. Using words like this. Yeah. Yes. You go to jail as well. 3 months. Or 10,000. You pay 10,000 by using curse words.
I'm an uptight
Curse words, $10,000.
bastard!
Or 3 years in jail.
You old horny slut!
If you smoke cigarette or throw e-cigarette. Okay, e-cigarette is even way better, eh? Talk less of the real cigarette. $10,000 or 6 months in jail. What about if it is real cigarette you smoke? Let's go back to this. So order. But some of the us in Nigeria, we say we want the progress of Singapore. Are we ready for their order? But that's what makes the country to be organized and developed. Okay.
Freedom without boundaries equals bondage.
Yep.
Freedom without free will equals slavery.
Yep.
However, Genesis 2:17 lets us know the consequence of wrong choices, which is death.
Yep.
Commandments, therefore, are meant to save or prevent us from death.
Beautiful. That is order, is to save us from death. Okay, let's see how death was prevented thanks to order in Colombia. Okay, yeah.
Of the commitment made by the city to bring art
Louder.
to all corners.
Louder voice.
We have a great institution that we are very proud of, Empresas Públicas de Medellín, which is a
Let's
world-class
start all over
organization because
This is Colombia, one of the most
home,
unruly
house,
countries in the world.
abode, residence, shelter. That is what cities are and become.
You can read
Medellin, Colombia's
the words,
second
yeah.
largest city, is that and wants to be the best home. We are hosts by nature, and that is what our history has proven. A diverse heritage transformed into a legacy that we maintain with love. Medellin has a male and female soul, with voices of diverse accents and tones, and colors, many colors, in its landscape, skin, and eyes. Eyes that see how hundreds of hands and the desire to do things right get up early every day to face the challenges that we adventure upon as a city. In Medellin, millions of hearts beat to the rhythm of hope that sets the pace of the city.
Abuded likat bila.
The melody that
Na ito nito. Nada bila drugo film na iti. De bila
we set
rasu.
out to
Huh?
create some time ago is that of a great
Wait,
choral
wait.
symphony.
Let me tell you just, the idea here is that, I think it's the wrong one we should got. The idea is that this city was one of the most deadly cities where they kill most people and everything like that. But one mayor came, even Colombia, Bogota, the capital, a mayor came and totally reconstructed everything and made everything and brought life. I mean, just one man of order. They killed one, they removed another. Many times, but people were determined to bring sanity and they restored it. Etanito international. At Bogota, nada bela naiti, Stalisa, Bagata, na so as nana t-shirt nada gawari. Nada pa iskato show ya email ubidis of Tom show even not to eta Nigeria. Okay, let's go back. Okay, but let's continue meanwhile.
God knows how we are made to function and what is harmful for us.
Don't hate.
Don't hate, forgive. Just like any manufacturer knows what could damage his products, God knows what could destroy us and what could enhance our living. Isaiah 48:18-19. Oh, that thou hadst hearkened to my commandments, then had thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea.
You see, if you add into my commandment. But why commandment? Because commandment is law. Law and order. Law leads to order. If you hearken to my law, to my commandment, you would have had peace. You see, law leads to order. Law leads to peace. As a river, and thy righteousness would have been like wave of the sea. Yeah, go ahead.
Thy seed also had been as the sand, and the offspring of thy bowels like the gravel thereof. His name should not have been cut off nor destroyed from the
There is no destruction where there is order. Order prevents from destruction. That's what the Bible is saying here.
To love God is the greatest commandment. Love your neighbor because we are made in God's image. God is love.
Perwe is about diversity, right? Esta pesna es esa.
Pay attention.
Let's move on. Next. Sharp minutes go. We'll go back here. The second one. So, technological development is as a result of order as well. Scientific breakthroughs is as a result of order. Just let it play while you remove the voice. Zai toka música, dá никто не говорит? Или говорят? Agostine, no, госпиталът. Самый лучший госпиталът. Будет ли разговор или нет там? Или только музыка? Хорошо. Okay, that's t-shirt, all right? This, start all over again. Okay, you can start now. So, these are the best hospitals, the most technologically advanced hospitals in the world, right? And this is all as a result of order. So this is all technological advancement. Order leads to breakthrough technologically. Order leads to scientific breakthrough. Order leads to development. Order prevents death. The reason why hospitals are better than miracles is because it is arranged. It is predictable. It is perpetual. It can be there all the time. Miracles cannot be always there all the time. The miracle worker could die. God might not answer the prayer. The miracle might not. So our investment, our strength, and our energy should be invested in developing technological order, bringing about breakthrough, technological breakthrough. Getting to know about technology, getting to discover things. Instead of all African countries putting all the energy in churches, spending every day in church, we should be spending every day in the laboratory, in research clinics, in the research institute. It is research, law and order, progress. These are the things we should be directing all the energy of our people to, so that they will, because these are the things that are predictable. These are the things that you can predict. All the miracles in this world, all the miracle workers in this world, they cannot if God is not going to answer their prayer, there is nothing they can do. But Health service, good health service, good technological progress can do it. This is as a result of order. All these countries is because they put their priority in the right place. They put their focus in the right place. They directed their country in the right place. They arranged their people. They are focused in the right direction. Not just sending them to church to pray. They work for it. And that's why they get the result. These are the best hospitals in the world. But in my country, even my own president has to travel outside for medical treatment. Because we are going to pray in church. Instead of going to put our resources and efforts in the right things of studying and getting ourselves technologically advanced. While other people are building hospitals, we are building the biggest church, the largest kilometer, hall, 100,000 seater, 3 million seater. What is that give you at the end of the day? All those places will still become empty anyway. But build a hospital like this, and it will serve and save millions of lives. And all those churches, you can have relationship with God without all those buildings. Building is not church. Church is the temple, is the body of everybody. We are the temple of God. These are the things we should be spending our money to build. But in our country, it is house, building, that doesn't produce anything. And those buildings, they spend billions to build. Only on Sundays, people gather in them. It's empty from Monday to Saturday. Once a week. And you spend billions on them. No order in thinking. The right is out. Slide. No order, no constructive order in thought. So, to bring order, we need education. To bring order, we need enlightenment. Almost every day, I've been telling you about how Americans brought order to their society. Whenever they saw that there is something lacking, there is something where there is an area of life where they are weak, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, they will always use film to educate people. Hollywood, and film industry, they will develop a film. Any problem they see in the society that they are having challenges, they will produce a film around it and use it to educate. That is how you have the Western world today, America. They educated their people according to the value systems that they were lacking. That is order. They brought order to their minds, to their way of life, to their thinking process, to their consciousness. They created order in the national consciousness of the people.